Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Hello out there to everyone who didn't click off immediately at the sound of my voice. So Tony Hawk is the cool new thing in 2021, I guess. The 2000s are making a comeback. I just want to preface this by saying I don't know nothing about no skateboarding. I was just a wee lad in 2000 when skateboarding was at the peak of its popularity. All I know is this game and its soundtrack are very special to people born between the years of 1988 and 1993. A generational event, as it were. And so, since this is a modern game, we gotta sign a freaking liability waiver first. They don't have a skip to end button, so you gotta slowly go through it. Just like that South Park episode with the... It says right here in the agreement that Apple has the right to sew your mouth to the ass of another iPhone user. When did this become the norm? Who knows what kind of awful shit they hid in that thing we just skipped through. Anyway, so you can adjust the darkness levels, because by default I guess they're broken. Everybody's got a different type of TV these days, so they gotta put these things in. Okay, not quite. I can kinda see it blinking. Good enough, I guess. And of course we gotta adjust the white levels too. Perhaps this is the developer's message about racial harmony. You have to have an equal number of blacks and whites or something. That's something you can say, but it's fine. I was declared an honorary black guy in 2014, so it's okay for me to say it. Screen positioning looks good. No need to adjust that. When I was recording the gameplay, I made the decision to skip the tutorials, because even though I hadn't played this, I had played a few other skateboarding games, and I figured it would be functionally similar, and I was wrong. I'm just gonna make a damn fool of myself out there. All you cool skateboarding aficionados out there are just gonna be, oh, look at this fool, he don't know about no Tony Hawk. So here's the overview of the one course we have, cause everything is unlocked from the start. Activision always had a nasty habit of doing that. Even going back like 20 years, there was that Disney skateboarding game on the GameCube when like 90% of the stuff was locked. So all this stuff that they're instructing you to do has to be done within like 2 minutes. I thought these were just optional things you could do for fun, but then they just toss you in there. I wanted to see if there was a way to maybe do something about the copyrighted music, to see maybe if they had like a menu option to just replace it with MIDI so that the YouTube copyright patrol doesn't bust down my door. But no such option exists. It's like that IGN video where they posted some gameplay of this, but the music was muted because they're just a bunch of cowards over at IGN. They don't want to get content ID'd. Fuck you, IGN. Gosh, we've already wasted like 10% of our allotted time just fucking around in the starting area. How in the hell are we gonna collect those letters now? The T seems to be the most troublesome one to get. T for troublesome, as it were. I wonder if that was on purpose. Probably not, because that's fucking stupid. Anyway, so in the other skateboarding game I played, once you just had to press either X and Y to do ground tricks automatically. And they don't seem to allow that in this one. It's far more advanced. Let's see. So what else was popular when this game came out in 2000? Let's try to create some Let's Play synergy here by talking about other media items from the period. How about Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island? Remember that? That was popular roughly the same time as this game. That was the one where the monsters were real. They said as much in the trailer. And Fred tried to pull the mask off of that zombie, and it wouldn't come off because that was just its face. That's my faith, sir. Okay, let's go back and try and find some of those tutorials so that I can stop making a fool of myself. There's a lot of content in this game. You see, we got Tony Hawk 1 and 2 to pick from. So here are all the other characters. I don't know who none of these people are. I ain't no skateboarding people. There's Taishan Jones. I think I went to school with a Taishan Jones, and maybe we could call this guy Taishan Bones, No, that's fucking stupid. This episode sucks. You can get new board designs, but I guess you have to unlock those. I don't know what any of this does. I'm just getting overwhelmed by all this content. They just kind of throw everything at you at once. This is very difficult to get the hold of if you don't know what you're doing. This is how old people must feel trying to send an email. So this character that we're playing as now looks a bit reminiscent of Mr. Bones from the Sega Saturn. I don't know why I bothered to say that. Nobody remembers that shit. Nobody except me. But anyway, yeah, a skeleton with blue eyes. Just like in that famous Sega Saturn game. Oh my god, it's actually the voice of Tony Hawk. Of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater fame. I'll just let him talk for now.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater can take some time to master. Just like real-life skateboarding, it takes practice. So if you fall, try again. And good luck. Don't forget, if you ever want to retry...
Okay, I'm getting bored, so I'm just gonna start talking over him. If you want to know what he's saying, you can just read it. I assume you know how to read. You're not illiterate, I'm guessing. So yeah, these tutorials are structured pretty similarly to the Spider-Man games that came out on the PS2 and the GameCube. Remember those where you just had an open area and the narration of Bruce Campbell was making fun of you the whole time? Is all, I'm gonna go grab a ham sandwich, you can figure this crap out yourself, asshole. Oh, Bruce Campbell, you were very mean to Spider-Man in 2002. But it made the game funny. That song that was playing a second ago kind of sounded like that weird British rap music you hear occasionally. I don't know a whole lot about that scene because I live in the jolly old USA. But I know Roadman Shack, remember him? Roadman Shack is a British rapper. Okay, we're gonna do some skateboard jumps. And we're having a tough time thus far. Okay, there we... Nope. Still no. You gotta land frontwards. You gotta work with the momentum or what have you. Yeah. Fuck you, Arlo. Someday that... choose my words carefully here. But anyway, yeah, that's my new thing. I wish ill upon that blue puppet at least once per episode in the hopes that maybe he'll see this and then maybe we can collab or something. Wouldn't that be weird? Okay, so we're gonna do some cool mid-air flips. Something that would absolutely not be possible for my uncoordinated ass. I can barely even stand up. I'm living vicariously through video games, doing things that would never be possible. Not a once. So, I find it kinda interesting how they still use tapes as the guide markers in a game released in 2021. This was clearly meant for a specific group of people. They didn't expect the youngsters to play Tony Hawk. If you don't know what a VHS tape is, then simply put, this game is not for you. They knew exactly who their fans were and they catered it to them. If this was modern, do you think they'd have like USB sticks instead? To make Tony Hawk games more appealing to people born in 2006? Yeah, that's probably what they would do, or maybe SD cards. Thankfully they didn't do that. Thankfully there's still at least a few things out there marketed towards people my age. Even though I'm just a few years too young for this era, I missed it just narrowly. But anyway, we're gonna do some, we're gonna catch some air on the vert ramp. We're learning all the cool skateboarding lingo from 2000. You think this game's gonna bring back skateboarding? You think skateboarding's gonna be cool and it's gonna infect all other forms of media? Again, like it did in 2000, there'll be skateboarding in commercials unnecessarily, and there'll be like, skateboard-themed toys at Burger King and McDonald's, and those PS1 Tony Hawk games had a hell of a cultural impact. A generational event, like I said earlier. Just like how Jurassic Park made dinosaurs appear in all forms of media in the 90s, Tony Hawk made skateboarding appear in all forms of media in the 2000s. What other big trends have they had since then? I can't think of anything as culturally impactful as the two things I just named. I don't know. So yeah, everything's getting brought back. Maybe next they'll bring back Cousin Skeeter. Frack. Remember that Cousin Skeeter, that Nickelodeon show? With that puppet who lived amongst humans, and I don't think anyone ever really acknowledged that he was a puppet. What an odd concept. So yeah, if they could bring back Cousin Skeeter, that would be pretty cool. I think a whole new generation of people would be made cooler just by being near it. Cousin Skeeter would change the world, and all the youngsters would make Cousin Skeeter memes instead of whatever crap they're making now. God, today's memes are terrible. I saw one the other day, and the guy voicing it, he couldn't pronounce the letter R, and I was just thinking, God, is this what it's come to? Looking at memes made by people who talk like 6-year-olds. The meme scene has truly gone downhill. This is just pitiful. Well, anyway, we'll do more Tony Hawk, I guess. Today's episode was actually supposed to be Mario, but that didn't happen. We'll get to Mario someday, too. Eventually.
You're the one who said you walked on the moon when you didn't. Calling the kettle black, if I ever thought of it. Saying I misrepresented myself.
Away from me.
You're a coward and a liar and a thief.